Just turned off the grill. You all got about 25 seconds to order your last burger before it goes cold, you bastards! Hey, if it isn't Mr. Don't Mess With Me, get out of my restaurant! And don't come back unless you want a facelift. No one messes with good old Sam, little kitty.
You see this fist? I used it to knock down a rhinoceros today. But you know what? I've got another one right here, and it's jealous of its twin.
Okay, just kidding. Relax. What about a free burger?
I have to admit, I was hoping to get something in return for that first hamburger. But now I don't really know why I brought this. The cynics would say I did it all out of selfishness, just to feel better about myself. Who cares? Dunn must have punched the can while he was arguing with Yale. I guess that explains why he threatened to call the fight off. I'm much taller than Dunn, and I can barely reach the noose. There's no way Dunn hanged himself. Not on his own, at least. Bobby Yale. I don't know if you had a motive to kill Dunn, but you certainly had the murder weapon. Christ. Did Yale kill Dunn just because he wanted to call off the fight?
I always knew Bobby had issues. But I never thought he'd go that far.
A part of me thinks Bobby Yale didn't do it.
It all leads to him. In any case, that doesn't change a thing.
It does, actually. Now we know he didn't kill himself.
My father's still dead, and you still haven't found Bobby Yale. Nothing has changed. Opening the safe and finding my father's will won't help us achieve anything. So please hurry. Time's wasting.
Sonia's indifference never ceased to amaze me. But most importantly, why was she so opposed to Yale?
John Blacksad? I think I owe you an apology.
Apology accepted. But what exactly are you apologizing for?
Listen, I don't think my fellow workers treated you with the respect you deserve. I'm so sorry they wrinkled your suit. The thing is, they didn't know we shared a common goal. Bobby Yale. I want to find him and get to the bottom of this as much as you do, Mr. Blacksad. So please, kindly accept my invitation. Why not share our findings? Come on.
Of course. You don't mind me riding in this fancy car with a wrinkled suit, do you?
Aw, I think you look mighty dapper, Mr. Blacksad. Although, if those wrinkles were to rub off on me... I always play it nice and safe. Thank you, Blacksad. You won't regret this. So let's cut to the chase. I need Bobby Yale to fight Stone. There's just too much money at stake. So, I'm offering you my help to find Yale. Let's work together.
I always work alone.
You know, if everyone worked solo, many people would suffer. Look at me. I could go it alone, but I don't. Please, hear me out. Let's say I bet a beer that we find Yale in 3 days, and you bet a beer that we don't. In 3 days, one of us has to buy the other a beer. Is that so bad? We're simply two grown men using our money and free will to conduct a small private exchange. And most importantly, we're not hurting anyone. So, yeah, I run a gambling business. What's so bad about that?
It's illegal, for starters.
Illegal? Let me tell you what should be illegal. The way our government is ruining America. We live in a so-called free country, a place where honest people can make a living, provided they don't hurt anybody. We're not communists. Well, at least I'm not.
I would have never thought otherwise. As for me, with all due respect, it's none of your business.
Ooh, all right. Never mind then. In any case, that's not my point. The government betrays our nation's values by passing communist laws that forbid an honest man like me to make a living without hurting a soul. And that, Mr. Blacksad, is just wrong. I'd even say it's unconstitutional. Do you get my point now?
Okay, but that doesn't justify what you do for a living.
Oh boy. Did you hear anything I just said? Anyway, when the government passes these laws, there's only one legitimate weapon the people can wield. The same weapon that turned America into a great nation. Civil disobedience. So, as the proud American that I am, it's my duty to disobey.
You might have a point. In certain cases, civil disobedience is both right and duty.
Exactly. And when you hear just how I've transformed this business, you'll agree even more. I wasn't always a boss, you know. No, sir. I started at the bottom, when Lucky Blitzen ran the show. That good for nothing. His was a reign of terror, extortion, violence, you know, that sort of unpleasant thing. When I took over, I decided I'd make people want to do my bidding. Not out of fear, but out of gratitude. I decided to help people so they would help me.
That beating your thugs gave me was really helpful. Thank you so much.
Those poor bastards didn't even know you were a detective, that you were on our side.
Maybe at first. But when they tied me up and beat the socks off me, they knew very well who I was.
Seriously? That goes against my rules. Who was it?
It was just Wilson.
That bastard. Don't you worry. I will have a serious talk with him. I cannot tolerate this behavior. Please accept my apologies, Mr. Blacksad. You see, a lot of people work for me. Many families depend on my business. Not only that, St. Christopher's Hospice practically lives on my donations. The widows of my late employees are set for life. Their kids get free schooling. The cops leave me alone because they know my business doesn't hurt anyone. On the contrary. And, it looks like we're here.
Yale's apartment?
I told you I'm on your side. When you're done, maybe you'll change your mind and share your findings with me. Or not. It's your call, Mr. Blacksad. I'll make sure you're suitably compensated. Wilson, come here.
A woman's fragrance. Almost angelical.
Bobby seems like a nice kid, but I barely know him.
I'm not sure how Yale's love of pickles will help me crack the case, but it's good to know. That means she's been here recently. But why? What does Sweet Mary have to do with Yale, the murder suspect? Uh, 17th century French fables. Mare must be one boring old lady. The worst thing about O'Leary's boys dropping by isn't the beating, but the fact that I can't tell what's theirs and what's Yale's. Can't say this is the ideal drink for an athlete. Then again, it could be your classic bookie thug lunch. Judging by the general state of the apartment, they were leading a quiet life. So, you like your mob stories, don't you, Bobby? Seems like Bobby inherited something more than boxing skills from his father, besides the tendency to vanish into thin air, of course. Nice chain. Why would you want such a big closet for so few clothes? Unless someone emptied it recently. Copy 1 of 3. Do you know any of his relatives?
His father, Avenarius.
Avenarius? The boxer poet? Didn't he disappear 20 years ago? With people like O'Leary, you just never know. I didn't want to put Mary at risk. Why not take her a little something instead? I've never trusted angels.
Mr. Blacksad? What a...
Surprise? When they fall, they turn into demons.
Joey told me he was going to spend the afternoon painting the gym and that Bobby would be fixing something up on the roof. So, after I found the body and called the police, I went to Bobby's place, but he wasn't there.
So you knew that Yale was with Dunn when he died, and yet you told no one.
I guess I just forgot. Everything is so confusing. I'm sorry, Mr. Blacksad.
Don't be. I'm here to figure it all out. What's your relationship with Bobby Yale?
He was like a son to Joey, and we were about to get married, so, you know.
Okay, I think it's time to set things straight. I think you and Bobby Yale conspired to kill Dunn.
No! How can you even think of something like that?
How can you convince me otherwise? I found a picture at Yale's apartment. It's you and him on a roller coaster. Care to explain, Miss Purnell?
I'm not white, Mr. Blacksad.
What?
7 of my great-grandparents were white. The 8th was black. According to law, I'm a black citizen, even if my skin says the contrary. Do you know what that means when you're born in North Arlington, Alabama?
Segregated housing, with far worse homes for colored people.
We even have different water fountains, for God's sake. The separate but equal doctrine and all that.
That crap.
And all the lies. That's why I moved here. No one knows what color my great-grandparents were.
I'm black too, and I don't hide it.
Well, at least you're a man.
In any case, what's that have to do with Bobby Yale?
He's my nephew, Mr. Blacksad. Joe and I first started taking care of poor Bobby when my sister died. That was when he was almost 15. The 3 of us went on that trip to Luna Park.
So this is where Joe Dunn comes in.
Bobby was the only one who knew about me and Joey. We were afraid that someone would use my past to ruin his career.
It's not the first time I hear that story. You should have told me this sooner.
I've been hiding it all my life. I'm sorry.
TV and radio all in one. Where will these mad times lead us? Mary smells like... Actually, the whole room smells like a pie fresh out of the oven, so I can't identify any other fragrances. fresh out of the oven. The whole room smells like pie. About Sonia Dunn and the ring. I managed to hide the truth from her.
I appreciate it, but at the same time...
What?
No, nothing. Maybe she has a right to know.
Are you sure you don't know where your nephew is?
I've looked everywhere. He's nowhere to be found.
Don't worry. I'll find him.
Thank you.
Your secret is safe with me.
I'd like to believe you.
That cherry pie smells so good. I'm starting to get hungry.
Thanks. I pulled it out of the oven right before you arrived. Oh, where are my manners? I'm the worst hostess in the world. Let me go get a knife from the kitchen. And you must be thirsty. Let me see. OJ? Coffee?
Water's good, thanks. She's wearing the same clothes in both pictures, so she's probably telling the truth. Feels good to stretch out now and then. Now that there's almost no pie left, the scent has also disappeared. Interesting. Now Mary smells like a huge dog. Mary, when are you going to stop lying? I know your nephew is here. I can smell him.
What? No. I already told you I don't know where he is.
Look, I understand why you're protecting him, but it's in his best interest to end this hide and seek.
You can search the whole house if you want. Go ahead. He's not here.
Wait a minute. She's not the one who smells like that. Look, if he's making you do this, just tell me. I'll protect you.
Bobby would never do that.
If he's not here right now, he must have left shortly before I got here. Where did he go?
Shortly before you got here? I wish.
That's where Bobby Yale's scent is coming from. So, that's why you were sitting there.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. Could you step aside so I can check, please?
Please go.
Mary, for Christ's sake, put that knife down, would you?
Leave or I'll...
Mary, I came here to help.
I mean it.
Think about Mary, Bobby.
Don't even mention her name.
Bobby!
Call an ambulance. Do as I say. Go on, call an ambulance. Do it now. In the face of a heart attack, there's two things you can't forget. One, stay calm. Two, 1 chest compression per second. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. 6 Mississippi.
Bobby. Oh, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Thank you.
I had lots of reasons to consider this a great day. I had investigated a suicide case. I had discovered that, in truth, we were dealing with a murder. I had found and captured the prime suspect. And I had saved a life. And yet, everything in me screamed that something was going wrong. Terribly wrong.
Promise me you won't take the law into your own hands. I'd like to think we're not just vigilantes.
I want a gun!
What the hell?
Bang, bang, bang!
A fair amount of violence, extortion, and casualties.
I hate detectives.
Bang, bang, bang!
You're dead meat, Jack.
That you, Smirnoff?
You seem agitated. Nightmare?
What's it to you?
Anyway, why don't you go home? In his current condition, Yale's not going anywhere. Besides, we'll take it from here.
Thanks, but that won't be necessary. I can watch Yale on my own.
No doubt. I just saw exactly how vigilant you always are. As for what happened yesterday, I asked you not to get involved, or at least give me a heads up.
If I hadn't intervened, Bobby Yale could be dead.
If you had warned me, maybe we could have avoided a heart attack. Anyway, what's done is done. When exactly did you realize that he killed Dunn? Out of sheer curiosity. I'm a cop after all.
To be honest, I'm not so sure Yale killed anyone.
How about the motive? Any ideas?
I've got several theories, but that's about it.
In any case, hopefully Yale will tell us more.
Would you let me ask him some questions when he wakes up?
I know you will, with or without my permission, so I'd rather not feel betrayed. In exchange, drop by the station when you can. Your investigation could really help my men. Who, by the way, must be waiting for me to interrogate Mary Purnell. Boy, she was hard to pry from Yale's side.
Don't go too soft on her. That girl's quite the liar.
Will do. Thanks for the advice. And as for you, go get some rest. God knows you need it.
I can't promise anything.
Tell the nurses to look at that face of yours. You look like a film detective in his last scene.
I'm afraid this film isn't over yet.
For your sake, I hope you're wrong. You're in charge now, officer.
Okay.
I'll send you relief in 6 hours. Understood?
Doctor,
Who are... Oh, detective. Congratulations. You fared pretty well against that kid. Better than most would have. Now, if you'll excuse me...
let's just say I got lucky. We, as a society, simply don't trust reptiles. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is our extended belief that there's logic to that distrust, that it's natural and well-founded. How's Yale? Is he awake?
Oh, yeah. Go check on him before he falls asleep again. Although, try not to bother him with too many questions.
What's his current condition?
It's too soon to tell. He did have a heart attack after all.
Go away. I don't want to see you. The doctor told me to sleep.
I rarely get to interrogate a suspect with his guard down in a place as quiet as this. Getting the chance to study his body language with no distractions is a rare gift. His heart rate is increasing. It could mean that he's lying, but it could also just be pure, unadulterated rage. He's clenching his fist, a sign of contained anger. He's looking straight at me. If he couldn't hold my stare, I'd think he's lying, but that's not the case. Clenched fist, fast heart rate, fixed stare. He feels some genuine rage towards me. I'm sorry you don't want to see me, but I'm afraid you'll just have to put up with me.
For now. Luckily, I just got my medication. I'll be snoozing soon.
All right, I'll just cut to the chase. Who killed Joe Dunn?
What? Are you trying to confuse me? Joe hanged himself.
He seems about to burst into tears. Is he angry or sad? Is he lying, or did his heart rate speed up out of rage? He opened his hand. That's a sign of honesty. Dunn was too short to hang himself with that rope.
So, it's true? He was murdered.
I know Dunn threatened to call off the fight. Why?
How do you know that?
I'm a detective.
That was his anger talking. He never really meant it.
That doesn't matter. Why was he so mad at you? What did you do?
Nothing. Joe thought that I wasn't training hard enough. That I was going to lose.
All right. Let's just say that I believe you. The murderer killed Dunn with a chest expander and planted evidence to make us believe it was suicide. But he also left enough clues behind to make sure we found the true murder weapon. Then he put the chest expander box in your locker to frame you. Do you know anyone that twisted and who also happens to have a motive?
I don't know.
What about Frank Cassidy? Do you think he has a motive?
Maybe. A few weeks ago, Joe took me to a boxing managers association meeting.
Headed by Cassidy.
Yeah. He was obsessed with making it illegal for boxers to fight without a manager, or without an associated manager. Everyone seemed to go along with it until Joe spoke up. He said that would lower us to mob status. That Cassidy had founded the association just to make money by monopolizing the sport. That made others think twice. And Cassidy ended up empty-handed.
Poor Cassidy. Desmond O'Leary certainly seems twisted enough. Did he have anything against Dunn?
I'm not sure if they knew each other. At least not in person. About a month ago, Joe kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym. He was trying to give a business card to...
Jake Ostino.
Yeah, exactly. Did Jake tell you about that?
Something like that. Maybe it was... What am I saying? Jake could never pull off something like that. Nothing. Never mind. What about Sonia Dunn?
Sonia? I doubt it. She's odd, but she's his daughter.
I've seen worse, believe me.
Blacksad. I think I owe you You know, my father disappeared when I was 6, right after winning a fight. We never heard from him again. Do you know what that does to a kid? Who knows where I'd be if Joe Dunn hadn't been in my life. Even when I lost my way and put a gun to his head years later, he still took me under his wing and managed to steer me in the right direction. And now that he's gone, you're risking your life to find his murderer. Thanks.
Thank you for... The number of cigarette butts is inversely proportional to my hours of sleep. Ah, damn. The hands say a lot about what's going on inside a person. Is that eye movement normal? He seems restless. Should I tell someone? Ugh. No, the footprints don't match. If Yale killed Dunn, he did it without stepping in the paint, or in different shoes.
See? There's no fever whatsoever. He must be having a nightmare.
Are you sure?
Wouldn't you have nightmares too, after what he went through yesterday? I know I sure wouldn't sleep.
If that's a nightmare, he only has himself to blame.
Oh, the poor thing. Do you know what my nightmare is? It's that witch I have to work with. Oh. Good thing she's got trauma surgery at 12:30, but I wish it were a little sooner, you know? Anyway, thank you for letting me know, and for bringing him in. You don't know how excited I am to be involved in a criminal case.
It might not be important, but I need to take a look at his medical report.
Dunn's Jim. Sheikh Ostiombe speaking.
Jake, it's Blacksad. Could you get...
I have work to do, John. Call you later. Ronald, get on that ring!
Jerry Highfill. Long time no see.
Blacksad, I didn't want to wake you. How's the boy?
Asleep.
I hope he recovers in time for the fight. I got tickets. Although between you and me, he doesn't stand a chance. It'll be a fun bout, nonetheless. Not like this. God, this is boring.
I'm out of cigarettes. Can I bum one?
Don't smoke or drink. No vice for me. Smoking's dirty. Alcohol goes straight to your head. And women, they're all just me. Well, everyone except mine.
Are you sure about that? Not even one little vice?
Nope. Between you and me, when someone gives in to vice, it's because something's missing. Something in their life just isn't right. I've got a good wife, a good job, a good house, a good TV, and a good hobby. Sports. Well, watching them, that is. What else do I need, eh? Blacksad, vice is for losers. Man, I'm bored.
Are the odds against Yale that bad?
The boy's talented, don't get me wrong. But stone is stone, you know? I bet half my pay, but you know, no vice for me.
You say you've got a good job, and yet you're bored.
Well, it's just a figure of speech, really. I like my job. Is it boring? Yes, but I can entertain myself with a good fight or a football game. Well, watching them, that is.
Well, I'm going back in. Hi.
You're awake, handsome?
I'll take a pack of Morleys, please.
Honey, get me a pack of Morleys for Mr. Hanson.
It seems like the Doe nurse will be assisting Dr. Talbot during his 12:30 surgery. In 4 hours. Could I get them to operate any sooner? Get Dr. Gregor Talbot, please.
Yes, 1 minute. No, actually, Dr. Talbot won't be in until 12:30 according to my registry. Can I ask who's calling, please?
Sherry, this is Dr. Talbot. We have to reschedule the 12:30 procedure. I want everyone in the operating room in 5 minutes. If anyone gives you any grief, tell them it's a matter of life or death. Understood?
A matter of life and death. A matter of life and death. You gotta be kidding me.
All right now. How do I put this? I need something that you have.
Oh. Only if you guess why I'm giving it to you.
I think you just want to spite your fellow nurse.
Well, aren't you smart? But be quick about it. You hear me, huh? If that witch comes back.
What? What does it say here?
Ah, you know doctors. The top handwriting is mine. Let's see. Extrasystole and dehydration caused by panic attack.
Extra what?
You know, arrhythmia, like skipped heartbeats.
What about this here?
It's a good thing I know that Mr. Yale is in Dr. Ferguson's hands. Otherwise, I'd be worried.
Hey, no means no, miss.
You really don't know who I am, do you?
Miss, I've got orders. And the fact is, those orders say that...
There you are, Miss Dunn.
Huh?
Tell him, Blacksad. I can't get through that thick skull of his.
You see, Highfill, she's the owner of Yale's gym.
A woman?
Whether the kid recovers or not depends entirely on her.
Between you and me, and all due respect, miss, but aren't we taking this woman's liberation a little too far? All right, let her in, but she's your responsibility.
Thanks for convincing the cop.
I didn't want you to make a fuss over this.
Do I seem like a drama queen to you? Anyway, you did your job. I'll send you a check the day after the fight. You can leave now.
Huh, no. She's gonna do something stupid. Sonia, don't.
He killed my father. You said so yourself.
No, I told you I thought he was innocent.
He almost killed you in that floozy's apartment. How could he not be guilty?
You can't take justice into your own hands. Believe me, it will haunt you as long as you live.
Shut up. None of that matters. How could he not be guilty?
Your father sacrificed everything to pay your way through college. If you do this, you'll destroy the future your father wanted you to have. Shh. It's okay.
Uncle Tim!
Sweetie, I came back from Los Angeles as soon as I could.
I told you not to rush back.
Come on now, honey. Aren't you going to introduce me to your friend?
No, this is John Blacksad, the detective who found Bobby.
Oh, so this is strictly professional. I thought you had some good news for your uncle.
No, Uncle Tim, don't be silly.
Don't be silly. Look at you. Smart, educated, as dazzling as the brightest of stars. Every single man in this city should be at your feet. Come on, we'd better let him rest. I see. Let's say you're right and Bobby Yale is innocent. Who should we focus on now?
We?
Well, your father turned down my money, but he made me promise one thing, that I'd take care of you if anything happened to him.
But I can...
I know you're perfectly capable of managing that gym on your own, but we don't even know if he'll be ready to fight Stone. Besides, someone seems really invested in stopping that fight, and someone has to pay Mr. Blacksad to get to the bottom of all this. Please, talk some sense into her.
It's your life. As much as you love your uncle, it's up to you to decide whether you want his help or not.
Blacksad, I was just starting to like you.
All right. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much.
All right, stop crying or you'll ruin your makeup, honey. Now fix yourself up and I'll buy you some breakfast.
Wait, my purse.
I'll get it. It must be...
Blacksad, wait a minute. I think she needs some time alone, just like you and me. Listen, boy, do whatever it takes to find Joe's murder. Whatever it takes. If things get messy, don't worry. I'll clean them up. Deal?
I'm not a vigilante.
Well, suit yourself. Just get that ball to the end zone.
No. Are you telling stories about the great iron arm again?
Wait a minute. Of course. The Milestones quarterback. Tim Iron Arm Thorpe.
It's a good thing folks usually recognize me sooner. Blacksad, you coming to breakfast?
I'd love to, but I have to go ask for a favor. The investigation required that I ask Jake for a small favor. Or demand it, if worse came to worst. He's been training with those same shorts for who knows how long. Not the smartest cookie in the jar, nor the most tactful. But do I trust him? No. Do I consider him a friend? Yes. I hope he never feels inclined to hit me. He's twice my size. Hey, Jake.
Not now, John. All right, that's enough. Take 5. Go on. What, John? What's so important?
Could you tell me where O'Leary's headquarters are?
What for? No. You could get me into trouble. No way.
If we weren't friends, I'd tell the police you work for O'Leary. Although, if we were friends, you wouldn't hesitate to help me. Tell me, Jake, are we friends or not?
Damned cat. All right. O'Leary's hideout is in the basement of a Chinese restaurant. But I don't even know how to get in.
Have you noticed anything strange about Sonia?
I don't know. Yesterday she said she hated the gym. But it also seemed like she wanted to save the place. Do you get any of this? I sure don't.
It's just the way folks are. We say one thing, and then we go and do the opposite. You just can't expect us to be consistent. Well, I'll see you tonight. See you there.
Ronald, the break's over.
After 30 hours of work and several beatings, every bone in my body ached for a bed.
Now it's my turn.
So I went home to recharge. Because the night ahead was bound to be promising. What do you know about that basement?
Well, let me think. Nothing?
Come on, Jake, for Christ's sake.
I've come to get O'Leary several times, but they always make me wait in the dining room. One day it was so late that the restaurant was closed. They made me call from a payphone in that alley over there to let them know I was here. A few minutes later, O'Leary came out the back door, that red one there.
All right. You stay by the payphone. Wait till I'm inside. If you see anyone, call the same number you did that one time. Let it ring twice The investigation required that I ask Jake for a small favor. Or demand it, if worse came to worst. Hey, Jake.
Not now, John. All right, that's enough. Take 5. Go on. What, John? What's so important?
Could you tell me where O'Leary's headquarters are?
What for? No. You could get me into trouble. No way.
If we weren't friends, I'd tell Sonia you work for O'Leary. Although, if we were friends, you wouldn't hesitate to help me. Tell me, Jake, are we friends or not?
Damned cat. All right. O'Leary's hideout is in the basement of a Chinese restaurant. But I don't even know how to get in.
Well, I'll see you tonight. See you there.
Ronald, the break's over.
After 30 hours of work and several beatings, every bone in my body ached for a bed.
Now it's my turn.
So I went home to recharge. Because the night ahead was bound to be promising. What do you know about that basement?
Well, let me think. Nothing?
Come on, Jake, for Christ's sake. I'm running out of threats to get you talking, Jake. And frankly, I don't want things to get violent.
I've come to get O'Leary several times, but they always make me wait in the dining room. One day it was so late that the restaurant was closed. They made me call from a payphone in that alley over there to let them know I was here. A few minutes later, O'Leary came out the back door, that red one there.
All right, you stay by the payphone. Wait till I'm inside. If you see anyone, call the same number you did that one time. Let it ring twice and hang up. Got it?
Screw you!
A promising night indeed. bit too high to climb. If the basement I'm looking for were in that building. Could it be an elevator shaft? How does this thing open? No. The plan will only work if O'Leary doesn't know I've been here. Maybe it leads to the basement. Or maybe this is the way downstairs, not that door over there.
Stupid coyote!
Does he need a shotgun to deal with suppliers?
Stupid rabbit.
I'm guessing it lights up when they ring at the main door. Would he even notice if I got in?
Stupid cat.
Something tells me he'd notice me no matter how stealthy I was.
Stupid coyote.
What happened? Should we run for it?
Do I look like I'm in a hurry? There's a trapdoor on the ground, right by the restaurant. Does that sound familiar?
Huh? The restaurant or the trapdoor?
Okay. Forget it.
Are you done?
What do you think? I've seen two possible ways to access the basement, but...
You really think I can help you with that? What's taking you so long?
You want to switch places? The carpet store neon sign is still on, even though no one walks down that alley. Don't you find that odd?
They must have forgotten to turn it off. Plus, they're not short on cash. I heard O'Leary say he was gonna buy 10 carpets the other day.
Check out that graffiti. You're in On Leon Tong territory.
Wow, I thought the Tong Wars had ended years ago.
Maybe someone nostalgic just got bored.
Damn Chinese mafias.
Yeah, American mafias are infinitely better, no doubt. There's a guy watching TV inside the restaurant. A red panda, I think.
Doesn't ring a bell. I don't recall any panda waiters.
I need you to go to the front door and ring the bell.
Alright, is there a bar in that alley? Have you been drinking?
Count to 30, ring the bell, then run for the car. Got it?
Whoa, you better send a bunch of Natalias my way after this. So, now what are you gonna do?
I'll open the door with my lockpicks. Once I'm in, I'm still not sure if I'll take the hall or the door on the right. lock on that door was not your standard model. I had to give it my all.
I thought, Pooty Cat!
What do you know about that basement?
Well, let me think. Nothing?
Come on, Jake, for Christ's sake. Strain that little boxer brain. You must know something.
I've come to get O'Leary several times, but they always make me wait in the dining room. One day it was so late that the restaurant was closed. They made me call from a payphone in that alley over there to let them know I was here. A few minutes later, O'Leary came out the back door, that red one there.
All right. You stay by the payphone. Wait till I'm inside. If you see anyone, call the same number you did that one time. Let it ring twice and hang up. Got it?
Screw you!
A promising night indeed. No. Plan will only work if O'Leary doesn't know I've been here. Does he need a shotgun to deal with suppliers?
Stupid coyote!
I'm guessing it lights up when they ring at the main door.
Stupid coyote!
Would he even notice if I got in? Something tells me he'd notice me no matter how stealthy I was.
What happened? Should we run for it?
Do I look like I'm in a hurry? I need you to go to the front door and ring the bell.
All right, is there a bar in that alley? Have you been drinking?
Count to 30, ring the bell, then run for the car. Got it?
Whoa, you better send a bunch of Natalias my way after this. So, now what are you gonna do?
I'll open the door with my lockpicks. Once I'm in, I'm still not sure if I'll take the hall or the door on the right. The lock on that door was not your standard model. I had to give it my all. Why do they have so many paper notes? Do they get that many orders? Are they carpeting the floors? I could have used it to get in here, although maybe it's an even better way out. I was expecting some frozen bodies. Huh. Looks like those colorful notes weren't restaurant orders after all. There's one on each table, except this one. Does O'Leary have a network of pals? The odds are incredibly in Stone's favor. I guess that he's the reigning champion, and Bobby Yale is just a contender, but maybe word got out about his condition. Huh. That lizard isn't Yale's doctor. Wow. I didn't realize you could place so many bets on a single baseball game. "16 days until the fight." Sometimes I forget that criminals, even the office variety, have family and kids. Yet another example of how crime always pays. A little thingamajig that adds on its own. What'll they think of next? Huh. Looks like those colorful notes weren't restaurant orders after all. It looks like a summary of all the bets that come in. Day, amount, bet, wagerer. Wait a minute. Did O'Leary himself bet $5 grand on Yale? Could that be Ireland? I'd say that's Ireland too. A Crossler? The good news is, I don't need lockpicks to open it. The bad news, I didn't bring explosives. Even Dunn had a gun in his office. O'Leary couldn't possibly be the exception. Dunn had $200 in his safe. O'Leary had about $20,000 in a drawer. The painting concealed file after file of celebrity reports with all sorts of shady information, ranging from S to Z. Almost all of them were athletes. Is that what O'Leary meant when he said that detectives and police officers were his friends? I wonder how many spy for him. If I were to pitch in, who would I spy on? According to Stone's report, he was so clean, not to mention hard to corrupt, that O'Leary opted for a more subtle strategy. Apparently, when he broke up with the tennis player Helen Moore, he set her up with Stone. Lucky for him, they hit it off. As I put away the report, I stopped in my tracks. Did I really want to risk knowing what O'Leary had on my good friend, the incorruptible police commissioner? To be honest, if Smirnov had anything to hide, I'd rather not know about it. Thorpe had been a rising football star before the war, which he came back from with honors and decorations. After the truce, he resumed his career. He won 3 season trophies and a couple of MVP awards. He retired after an accident that left him paralyzed from the waist down. He started his own sports advertising agency 4 years ago, but according to the files, O'Leary hadn't even tried to corrupt him. In Bobby Yale's folder, all I found was a log of his incredible stats as an aspiring champion. 20 victories, 16 by knockout. Although, at the end of the report, someone had underlined one word several times. Untouchable. Limited edition copy 2 of 3. We listen, if you call it listening, to the sentimental romance. Your eyes act like the moon. If they're not together anymore, why does O'Leary keep so many pictures of romantic moments with Helen Moore? Ireland, of course. This guy's obsessed. I hope I never become the object of O'Leary's obsession. Strange as it may seem, the reports reveal that O'Leary had hired Jake as a bodyguard precisely because he was absolutely clean. Apparently, he liked to surround himself with honest people when he mingled with the high society. Helen Moore's file was, by far, one of the juiciest. She had been just a run-of-the-mill tennis player until O'Leary launched her career by rigging enough games to help her climb the ranking. However, O'Leary hadn't fixed any of her games in over a year. In spite of that, she remained undefeated. Be as it may, it was clear that O'Leary had enough information to ruin her career. I'd say O'Leary has threatened Stone with ruining Moore's career. Luckily or not, files in through R included no one that I could somehow connect to the case. The report on Yale's father was the shortest of all, since only his name was left. Why? Dunn's integrity was legendary, even in O'Leary's shady reports, just like Yale had said. Dunn had kicked one of O'Leary's men out of the gym when he found him snooping around. Cassidy's report was possibly the longest among all of O'Leary's files. Apparently, the rivalry went way back. So much so that they spied on each other in the most unthinkable ways. At least I was able to confirm what Yale had told me. Cassidy had threatened Dunn after he refused to join the managers' union. Jake. Someone was coming.
Are we or are we not exemplary workers, Jimmy? Here it is, middle of the night. And we're working extra hours. Hey, Jimmy, what do you think about that?
I think he's scared stiff, Desmond.
Why's that, Jimmy? We're giving you the red carpet treatment. We even let you in the boss's office.
You're one lucky fellow.
You can't say I don't treat you well, Jimmy.
Yeah. Speak, you moron.
Yeah, very well. Why are you... Shh. Calm down. How long have you worked for me, Jimmy?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh, yeah. I hired you right after your cousin Martin died. I need your opinion. How would you punish someone for ruining an innocent man's life with a hit and run, Jimmy?
I don't know.
Then tell me, what about you, Wilson? What would you do?
No, please. I didn't do anything. I swear.
He was a good guy. Of course, you already knew that. You knew him better than me, right?
He was my cousin.
That's why I hired you, Jimmy. You see, Martin was a dear friend. And his widow said you were a nice kid. That you do a good job. And you needed the money. And I have a soft spot for those in need.
Please.
But, you know what? I talked to her just yesterday. She told us you did some naughty things to her with that gun, Jimmy.
No.
That's no way to treat a widow, is it?
She's lying. Why would I do that?
What about the kid? Are you so sure you know how long a kid can hold his breath? With his little head inside a toilet bowl?
Son of a bitch.
I didn't want to. It was his idea.
Selfishly, I was glad I hadn't risked my life to save Jimmy. Maybe not even someone like him deserves to die. But one could also argue that I didn't deserve to die for someone like him.
Who's your boss? Give me a name!
Cassidy. It was his idea. He said you'd hired me if I'd managed to scare the widow, and I just...
All right. Let's just... calm down now. It's gonna be okay. There are 2 sacred principles that rule my life. The first principle is the love for my family. I do anything to protect them. The second principle, I never put my future in the hands of fate. I always play it nice and safe. And I would even add a third principle, or better yet, a rule. If anything threatens either of these 2 crucial principles, I take matters into my own hands. You see where this is going? For the first time, I got someone killed. Even though all I really did was rat him out.
No, I just...
Stop interrupting me, Jimmy! It's not polite! You're all the same. So rude. You know what? Let's leave it at that. You're going to give a message to that disgusting walrus Cassidy, aren't you?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Sure.
Good boy.
What's the message?
Oh, Jimmy. You still don't get it, do you? You are the message. Come on. Wrap him up. Make sure Cassidy gets the message for breakfast, will you? I hope he chugs on it.
Got it.
Where are you hiding, little fishy? Once again, you didn't get to hear the end of my story. What? Just where do you think you're going, Putty Cass? Two sacred principles rule my life. The first is the love I feel for